All right. I don't know. I can't decide. We'll see. You ready?
Yeah, we'll just flow.
We'll see
how
what
where the flow takes us.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I like it.
All right. Okay. Number one. You know, sleep is... Oh.
What are you doing right now?
Oh, I'm ready to go. I can't stand the anticipation.
She just starts asking questions like...
You know what? Do me a favor, because I'm going to get hungry in the middle of this and lose focus. Can you get my protein shake out of this? I think that's what the problem is. I'm hungry. I'm hungry, and I need to eat.
We'll chalk it up to that.
I was ready to go. I'm like,
I saw that.
Get this over with.
Here's the first question.
Did you even say?
No. There's
no,
none of that.
But Sharon, that's what my head does when it's time to eat. Especially after that workout last night. I need to eat. All right?
Okay.
All right. Do your thing.
He pulls his water closer like she's going to steal it. And
oh, I got to do the thing. I forgot all about that. All right. Yeah. So what episode are we?
35.
Maybe I better take a drink.
Take a shot?
Yeah, maybe I better.
Take a quick shot?
Yeah, because I don't want to make any mistakes.
It's alright, you can drink it while we do it, while you listen.
Okay. Right.
Okay, 35.
Okay.
Do you know your name?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to punch you.
I'm just making sure we're, that you're all...
Good morning, everyone. This is Travis from Thrive Fitness, and we are here with episode 35, another question and answer session for Mr. Jerry. Having a little bit trouble getting...
Mr. Jerry's my dad.
Okay, little boy Jerry. Anyway, we're back with another question and answer session. We got lots of questions today. So the first one that we're going to start out with is about sleep. Sleep is really important. It's important for a variety of reasons, but I wanted to ask little boy Jerry, what's your bedtime routine to get yourself settled down? Yeah.
Before bed.
Before bed, so you can fall asleep and get a good night's rest.
Yeah. So generally I get home around 8 o'clock. Maybe a little before that if I'm lucky. And we go to bed by 9:30, so don't have a whole lot of time to chill out. Mm-hmm. But get home, eat, and after that, just kind of just sit around and relax. Mm-hmm. I know there are probably, if I were home earlier, there would be a couple other things that I'd like to do. Kind of lay on the floor, meditate a little bit, take some deep breaths, but by the time I get home, sitting and relaxing seems to be enough to be able to calm me down and get me ready.
Do you, there's some theories out there about turning down the lights in your house, more like what our ancestors did back in the day, sitting around campfire.
Right.
That helps kind of send a message to your body that...
Sure. So your body,
down.
Right. So your body wants to go to bed and wake up naturally. Your circadian rhythm. That's everyone has heard that term, I think, at some point. That's your body's just natural want to go to sleep and wake up. And typically it wants to go to sleep around 8:30 or 9, depending on what time of year it is, and then wake up at 5 or 6 in the morning. However, with TV and cell phones and tablets and lights that we have, those things keep us up longer. So we stay up till 11 o'clock or midnight and don't wake up till 7 or 8 o'clock, depending on what time you have to be at work. However, yes, whenever you're trying to calm yourself down, you want to shut those things off. But it seems like it's good to let the moonlight through. Okay, so the natural light come through, but you want to shut the unnatural things off.
Right.
Because what that does is slows down the production of your melatonin that you release. So if you leave the natural lights on, your body doesn't think, oh, it's time to shut down and I can start releasing melatonin, which helps put you to sleep. So yes, shutting that off, and that is something that I do, is shut that off so that, again, I'm like, by the time I'm home,
Right.
I'm ready to just not have any lights on, ready to not have any noise,
Right.
like no TV, no nothing like that, and just
wind
calm
down.
down. Yeah.
There's some also about the best sleep is in a certain temperature range, and they talk about sleeping with, to help your circadian rhythm, sleeping with a window cracked open to just help the environment assimilate as though, you know, it was, you're sleeping out in nature to help support that.
Yeah.
And I do think that that's...
Yeah. Have you ever tried that?
Yes, I have. I have. I can't let my husband know that I have a window open in the winter, but you don't even have to open it that far. Just, you know, kind of just open it enough that you get that feeling in the air or whatever. So there's a lot of different, let's call them hacks out there that you can do to try to get yourself ready for bed, which I think I do a bedtime, you know, ritual.
What's that?
Well, I kind of do the same thing. I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't. I shut off electronics by 8 o'clock. I can't say I do that every single night. It depends on, like, some nights I don't get home to 8, and there's some things that I need to do. But I definitely, you know, come, you know, 8:30 or so, I'm not on the computer, and I'm just kind of sitting in a, you know, just a dimly lit room, and I'll read because I think reading relaxes me and kind of. That's something I've done for a long time, reading before I go to bed, and I think it cues in my head it's time to calm down and it's time to get ready to go to sleep. Yeah. So I think that if you can just establish some kind of bedtime ritual that works for you, it will help you sleep better. Yeah. And that's crucial for, you know, they say on average 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night is what you generally need for healing and optimal health. So
that's good.
Yeah, I think so. Everyone just experiment and establish something.
The more natural state that you can get in, the better.
Right.
And the irony is, we live in such a controlled environment. You have an air conditioner or a heater, depending on what time of year it is, and you can put it at whatever temperature that you want.
Right.
But your body still is your body. Like, it's evolutionary development. It understands what's going on. Like, it understands that you're controlling it, that you're giving it artificial input. So as natural as you can, your body wants to be a little cooler at night. It just wants to be. You just sleep in a better state that way. So
anyway, that's good.
Good question.
Good
question.
All right. Number 2 is from Jessica, and she would like to know, how do you choose a good fish oil, and what's the dosage? And I think particularly you have to look at the ratio in there, don't you?
So you're talking about the ratio of omega-3 to omega-6. Is that what you're talking about? So that's generally going to be the same. Again, depending on the beginning of the question, how do you look, or what kind of fish oil do you look for? So, number one, fish oil can be one of those things, and supplements overall sometimes can be one of those things that you can kind of go by price. And what I mean by that is, there is a point of diminishing returns where you start getting in the higher numbers, and maybe it's not actually worth what you're paying. However, if you're getting a 200 count bottle, buy one get one free for $10 or $15, odds are it's not what you want. It's not. It might be half fish oil. The other half is something else that you just don't know. Those are probably very clear. You want something that's dark.
I was going to say.
You want something that's dark. So.
And why is that?
Because dark tells you that it's much more nutrient dense, number one, and then number two, just as far as the
oxidation.
Thank you. Oxidation of the oxidation of the oil. The darker that it is, the less oxidized it's going to be.
You're talking about the bottle, or
the bottle, yes, but the pill itself.
Also,
yeah. And then the next thing that I would look at is look at what kind of fish are in there. And they should list in the ingredients what kind of fish are in there. So the best fish oil that you can find should be primarily small fish. And here's why. Big fish have more toxins in them. Okay? They have more space to fill, so they have more toxins in them. So if you find a fish oil that has primarily sardines and anchovies and
the smaller the fish.
The smaller the fish, the better.
You don't want like big mackerel. I'm just thinking as far as when you're looking at food, like fish to eat, when you're looking at mercury. In there. They tell you to stay away from the big fish. The mackerels, the big swordfish, that pilot whale. I don't know. I've never seen that on a menu, but that's one that you definitely need to stay away from.
And then as far as the dosage goes, and again, generally speaking, they're all gonna have about the same amount. Like 1,000 grams of fish oil has about 300 milligrams of DHA and EPA. Yeah, that's right. The other thing I think that, talking about mercury, when you're looking at toxins in fish, is the one thing that you need to be aware of is selenium. Because if the fish contains selenium, or you have a lot of selenium in your diet, they say that the mercury in the fish binds to the selenium, therefore it doesn't bind to you. So that's how you can protect yourself. High selenium count?
By supplementing with selenium, making sure that you're getting adequate selenium in your diet.
Selenium is actually a very under-talked about and underappreciated supplement. If you look up anti-carcinogenic supplements or quote-unquote cancer-fighting supplements, which I don't, again, it's all relative. It's going to be minimal at best, but selenium's the one that always pops up. But anyway, as far as dosage goes, I'd be curious to see what you say about dosage as far as like taking wise, as far as what should you ingest. Okay, so
what I have read is that basically fish oil is, first of all, good cardiovascular wise, but there's also the benefit of being anti-inflammatory in your body. So, and it has a ton of other benefits. It helps with mood. Matter of fact, they have, they're doing research now where fish oil affects your motivation center of your brain, and it's really good for body composition, helping you maintain your lean mass and all of that. So they recommend anywhere from 3 to 9 grams a day, depending on I think where you're coming from. So if you start taking fish oil and you've been eating the standard American diet, which is full of inflammation and all that, then you would want to basically start out a little bit higher dose of fish oil and then work your way down as you clean up your diet. And you get more omega-3s in there to counterbalance the omega-6s. So generally, that's the recommendation. For most people, I take about 4 grams a day. That's kind of a maintenance dose for me. I take 2 in the morning and then 2 at night. So I think if you're looking to start out at a little bit higher dosage, then start slow. Don't take all the pills at one time because you get into some issues with GI upset and people burp fish oil and all that. So I just recommend just starting slow. You can break it apart. You can start out with 3 grams. I think is what's recommended on most bottles. Yeah, morning and then lunch and then with dinner. But this is the one supplement that I absolutely
go ahead.
believe in wholeheartly, and I will never stop taking it now that I've taken it because I've seen the benefits of it. The anti-inflammatory benefits.
Do you think that taking them all at once versus breaking them up is significantly better either way? To take them all at once, like, so if you're taking 3 grams, take all 3 pills in the morning, or take 1, 1, and 1?
I would tend to think that it's probably better to space them out, just because you wouldn't want to give yourself that. I just don't think dumping all of that in at one time is a good thing to do. You know, I think it could be an individual basis. I never did take them all at one time. When I was even taking a higher dose, I just broke them out. It's easy just to do them in the morning when you wake up, and then do them at night when you go to bed. I can't say that I, carried them, that they need to be like every 8 hours.
Right.
But just do them on bookend on your day, and it just seems to get you in a habit of doing it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Deal.
All right.
Okay.
Good question.
All right. Question number 3. This is a tough one.
Okay.
Okay. Do eating eggs, and this is from Mary Beth, a new client recently. Does eating eggs and red meat make you have high cholesterol?
Ha. It's only a tough question because... Why is it a tough question?
Because of what we've been brainwashed
so controversial.
Yes, we've been brainwashed
Yeah.
into thinking.
You should be answering this, by the way. But I'll
help you out.
Thanks.
Okay.
So cholesterol, number one. Nope. So cholesterol is naturally produced by your body. And when you ingest cholesterol, your body doesn't produce it. Not at all, but it'll counterbalance. Okay, so if your body produces X amount, it's going to cut that in half if you eat that much. You see what I mean? So if you eat 20% of that amount, then it's going to cut it down by about 20%. It's not going to be right on point, but it's going to be about that much. So what we've been taught is that stay away from egg yolks, stay away from red meat, stay away from fats in general, other fats that will raise your cholesterol because of the study that we've talked about before. That's just not how your body works. Your body will cut it. Your body will cut the amount that you ingest and not produce that much. Your body naturally produces it. So
75% of your cholesterol is produced by your body.
Yeah. So the trick is, what do you put those things with? So what do you put in your eggs with? And what do you put in your red meat with? And what do you put in your other fats with? What kind of fats are you taking in?
What's your overall diet?
Right.
I mean, essentially.
It's everything. It's everything. It's cumulative. Everything together. It's not that. It's not just that. So what else are you taking in with it? Because when you start stacking high sugar content and just high carb content, trans fats, when you start stacking those things together, then your body doesn't know what to do with them. You start overloading your body with certain things, and that's when triglycerides start popping up, and so on and so forth. So that's a good question.
Yeah,
what do you have to say?
It's tricky. I think that for the most part, when they check someone's cholesterol, they're not checking exactly.
They're not checking cholesterol.
They're not, because
there's
a lot of components
Yeah.
that play into this. So you've got LDL, you've got HDL, and then the LDL.
Go ahead. You're going there.
Well, I don't know that I am, but the LDL is the one that they really need to break into the two components.
There you go.
Ones that are fluffy and light versus the ones that are tight and small.
Right.
It's the tight and small ones that's going to clog up your arteries, not the dense, fluffy LDL. And by far, I've never, every time they've checked this on me, they've never told me your LDL, fluffy LDLs are whatever.
Yeah.
So I think when you are going to have this done, I think that you just need to ask the physician, kind of be smart about it and go, okay, so my total cholesterol is this. Ask them, say, what about breaking apart the LDL and telling me what exactly my LDLs are?
Yeah.
Because there's a big difference, and what plays into light and dense, or light and fluffy versus small and dense is, like you said, the type of food that you're taking in, because it goes in and creates that cell membrane. And you want that cell membrane to be very fluid and fluffy, so things can move across it, and cells can communicate with each other.
I would imagine that most doctors couldn't even tell you how they actually come up with the cholesterol number.
Probably not.
How they actually come up with your number. So, like Treva said, you have two different types of LDL cholesterol. You have two different types, okay? Your total cholesterol number you get from your blood test, and then your HDL number comes from your blood test. And then they have to calculate the LDL number. And that LDL number is just a number. It's the total number. So it doesn't know if it's the fluffy kind or if it's the dense kind.
Right.
All it is a number. So it can be higher, but it can be all fluffy ones, which is
what
okay,
you want,
which is fine. Or it can be lower, but it can be all dense ones, which may not be great, which may not be okay. So the overall having that LDL lower than your HDL is important. But that LDL number is just it's trickier than what medical practitioners make it come across to be. Like it's not as simple as your cholesterol is 220, so we need to get it down. Like it's just not that simple.
What's the #1 drug sold out on the market today?
Statins?
Yes. Right. So
let's see. I just looked at statistics about that yesterday. I think like over the age of 45, it was like 31.7% of Americans are on statins.
It is the #1 drug prescribed in the United States. So that's a whole nother issue that we can talk about. I was reading up on that this morning about all those studies and are they true, and are they really telling you exactly what goes on? And does it really decrease your risk of heart disease and heart attacks? Now they talk about there's a difference in someone who's got a previous history of heart disease versus someone coming in who has a high cholesterol, has no previous history, and they put them on a statin as opposed to the person who has already got a history of heart disease. So anyway, we can talk about that some other time, but it's very money making out there.
It's money driven, the medical industry is, and that's enough. We were just talking about that with some clients. Like the medical industry is just money. It's just money driven. That just is what it is. It's not good or bad. But that means that you just have to be more diligent about.
And there's people who are predisposed. They're called hyper responders, and they naturally have a higher cholesterol level. But I think that what I would do if I was told you have high cholesterol is I would look back at my diet, and that would be my first intervention. If I was not eating the way that I should be eating, then I would eliminate those first. And then go back and have that rechecked. And see if it's not, and I would ask about my LDL. Because they can do that. They can tell you that information. It's just not what is
readily available.
Right. So, good question. And the other thing is that eggs yolks are rich in choline, which is well known to be deficient in the American population. We don't get enough. So, you're throwing your egg yolks away that's full of choline that you really need. So, you just don't be so quick to, say, okay, I have high cholesterol, I have to eat all this low fat and egg whites the rest of my life. There's a little bit more to it than that. So, all right? Good.
All right. Let's do one more.
One more?
Yeah, let's do one more.
All right. We'll do an easier one. We'll save that tougher one for later. So we're approaching vacation season.
Okay.
And you have people who want to remain active and exercise while they're away from their trainer and their den. So give us just a quick little set of exercises that we can do while traveling this summer to stay on point.
Okay. Sprints and bodyweight exercises. So most people are going to be traveling to the beach. A lot of people are going to be traveling to the beach. Get out to the beach, run a 20-yard sprint, do 10 push-ups, run back to the other side, do 10 squats, run back to the other side, do 9, run back, do 9.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or if you don't want to run sprints, that's fine. Do 10 push-ups, jump up, do 10 squats. No, let me try that again. Do 10 push-ups, jump up, do 1 squat, get back down, do 9 push-ups, jump up, do 2 squats, and then keep going until they're on the opposite side of the spectrum, until you are at 1 push-up and 10 squats.
That's killer.
That's tough. It doesn't takes 5 minutes, but it's tiring. And it's not necessarily like push-ups aren't terribly tiring, body weight squats aren't terribly tiring, but getting off the ground in between doing those things, that's tiring. So you want to do something like just throw getting down and up off the ground in between exercises. Pick 3 exercises, get up and down off the ground in between all of them, and that'll make you significantly tired. Like 10 minutes
and especially if you on the beach, people might see you and come over and join you.
Yeah. And then you have some friends.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you always have your body to do stuff. You have your body to do stuff all the time. You know, body weight stuff, walking lunges, lateral lunges, split squats. You can do all that stuff with your body.
You can. And really, you don't, if you've been training for a while and you feel like you're pretty fit, I think that if you tell somebody that, they're like, what?
Sure. Well, you kind of toss it off. You're like, oh, body weight. No, I'm used to bench pressing 250 pounds.
But just do it one time. Yeah.
Or I'm used to deadlifting 4. And that's fine. That's all well and good. But it's something. It's movement. It doesn't really matter that it's not up to your standards. It's movement.
It gets your heart rate up.
Yeah.
It gets you sweating a little bit.
Absolutely. That's not the point in that time. If you're just wanting something to fill the gaps, then it's filling the gaps. It's not doing your 400-pound deadlift, but it's doing something.
So good.
Yeah. Good question.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
What about you? What would you do?
What would I do?
Bear crawls on the beach? That's what Kev said he was
those would
doing.
be fun. I did that when I went to the beach last time. I did do that. I went out in the morning and I tried to go off where I wasn't going to be a spectacle, but people clearly still saw me because they said things to me. But I think what I did was body squats. Felt, jumped down, did a push up.
Yeah.
Another, just like you said, I started with 1, did 10 push ups, 2 squats, 9 push ups, and I just ran that sequence
3,
down. I didn't like run and sprint between them, but I did that, and I tell you what, that was. Yeah,
doesn't take 5 minutes, but it's plenty.
No, and then you get up and you kind of got sand all over, but that's okay.
Right.
You can go get
You're
in
at the beach. You're supposed to have sand on you.
Get in the ocean. But yeah, and I just did that every morning. And I think people forget when they're on vacation. Number one, I don't think that you probably eat as much food as you do when you're back home in your environment. Number 2, you're walking typically a whole lot more than what you normally do. So I think, vacations are not the time that you're going to put on 10 pounds.
Right. Typically not.
Right. Well,
unless it's winter time and you're going to visit family for Christmas. That might be another story, but.
Well, I'll talk about that whenever winter gets here.
Yeah.
What you can do to counterbalance that. But yeah, so I think that's very good. And those do work. It keeps you on point anyway. You're moving. Okay?
Yep.
Good job.
Good questions. Sorry. I'll stay here. You come.
My arms are a little sore from
from everything.
Yeah.
The sled drags were pretty good. I like that.
Yeah. So anyway, good job.
Yes.
All right. Thanks everyone. You can find us at
Twitter at the Thrive Pack.
If you have any questions, please send them to me, Trevis at thriveforstrength.com. I'll get them down here and we'll pick Jerry's brain about them. So have a good weekend and we'll see you next time.